There's a man in a small town in Texas worth somewhere north of $10 million. Last month, he walked into a bank and borrowed money. Not because he needed it. He could have paid cash 10 times over. He borrowed it on purpose. And the reason why is one of the clearest dividing lines between people who build wealth and people who just earn money. By the end of this video, you'll understand a strategy the wealthy use every single day. One that almost nobody teaches because the people who use it don't like to talk about it. Welcome to The Quiet Rich. Here's how most of us were raised to think about money. Debt is bad. Saving is good. Work hard, pay cash, stay out of the bank's pocket. And for consumer debt, credit cards, car payments, financing a couch, that advice is dead right. That kind of debt makes other people rich at your expense. But somewhere along the way, that lesson got overgeneralized into all debt is bad. And the wealthy never got that memo. Because they know there are two completely different kinds of debt. Debt that takes money out of your pocket every month. And debt that puts money in. The first kind buys things that lose value. The new truck, the boat, the vacation. The second kind buys things that produce. A rental house, a business, equipment, land with income on it. Same bank, same loan paperwork. Completely opposite outcomes. Let's make it concrete with simple numbers. Say a man has $200,000. He wants to buy rental property. He's got two options. Option 1. Pay cash for one $200,000 house. It rents for $1,800 a month. After taxes, insurance, and upkeep, he clears maybe $1,200 a month. Not bad. That's one house working for him. Option 2. He uses that same $200,000 as down payments, say 25% down on 4 houses, and borrows the rest. Now he controls $800,000 of property. Each house has a mortgage, so each one only clears a few hundred a month at first. The monthly cash flow looks similar, maybe even a little less in year 1. So why would anyone choose option 2? 3 reasons, and this is where it gets good. First, appreciation. If property values rise 4% this year, the cash buyer gains $8,000. The borrower gains $32,000, because appreciation pays on what you control, not what you paid. Second, the tenants retire his debt. Every month, 4 sets of rent checks chip away at 4 mortgages. He's not paying those loans. Other people are. 10, 15 years from now, he owns $800,000 of property he only ever put $200,000 into. Third, taxes. The interest is generally deductible against the rental income, and the properties generate depreciation, a paper loss that can shelter real income. Cash buyers get some of this. Borrowers get more of it, on more property. That's the quiet math. The borrower didn't take on debt because he was broke. He took it on because debt, attached to the right asset, is a tool, like a tractor. Dangerous if you're careless, powerful if you're not. Now, let's go up a level, because the truly wealthy take this further. Imagine you own assets that have grown a lot in value. Stock, land, a business. You need cash. Most people's instinct, sell some. But the moment you sell, 2 bad things happen. You owe capital gains tax on the profit, and your asset stops growing. You traded the goose for 1 basket of eggs. So instead, the wealthy borrow against the asset, a loan secured by stock, by real estate, by mineral interests, whatever they hold. Loans aren't income, so there's no income tax on borrowed money. The asset keeps appreciating in the background, and the interest is often cheaper than the tax bill the sale would have triggered. You may have heard this called buy, borrow, die. Buy assets, borrow against them when you need cash, and hold them for life. We'll do a full video on that strategy later, because the third step has a twist that surprises everyone. But here's the part that matters today. The rich treat selling as a last resort and borrowing as a first option. Most families do the exact opposite. They sell their winners and finance their toys. Now, before anybody runs to the bank Monday morning, let's talk about the part the gurus skip. Because debt is a chainsaw. In careful hands, it clears land. In careless hands, it takes a leg. The wealthy follow rules with borrowed money. Rule 1. The asset pays the debt, not your paycheck. If the thing you're buying can't cover its own loan payment with room to spare, the deal is the problem, not the financing. Rule 2. Cash reserves first. Quiet money always keeps a cushion, months of payments sitting in boring savings. Leverage without reserves is how people lose everything in one bad year. Rule 3. Fixed and boring beats clever. Long terms, fixed rates, payments you could survive in a bad economy. The fancy stuff is how smart people go broke. Rule 4. Never borrow against the roof over your family. There's a difference between risking an investment and risking your home. The quiet rich know exactly where that line is. This is why two people can use the same tool and get opposite results. It was never about the debt. It's about what the debt is attached to and the margin of safety around it. So, what do you do with this if you're not rich yet? You don't need a banker on speed dial. You need to start asking one question before any dollar leaves your hands, borrowed or earned. Is this money going to work for me, or am I going to keep working for it? Every purchase is one or the other. The couch doesn't work for you. The course you never finish doesn't work for you. The rental house, the small business equipment, the skill that raises your income, those work. The rich aren't borrowing because they love banks. They're borrowing because they found assets worth owning more of, and they refuse to let the lack of cash in hand slow down the compounding. That's the real lesson. Not go get debt. It's find things worth owning. Then own as much of them as you safely can for as long as you can. The borrowing is just how they do it faster. If this changed how you think about debt even a little, the next video will go further. We're breaking down buy, borrow, die step by step, including the part at the end nobody believes is legal. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The rich stay quiet about this stuff. We won't.